Now, what he tries to tell the officer is that the needle that the officer finds on him is for GH. Now, the officer's not stupid because there was a spoon with it as well, so he wants to know if he's doing GH, why does he have a spoon? He never seen anybody need a spoon for GH, obviously heroin, so I'll let you listen to that a little bit.
Right, well here's what I'm trying to tell you, okay? You tell me GH, I understand, you're a man, I get it, right? Needles, and then I find a spoon, and I don't understand people that shoot up GH with a spoon, you know what I mean? Okay, so if you tell me you got a little issue, that's fine, alright? You do?
Yeah, but there's no narcotics here. I literally got off the plane at 3 o'clock.
Okay, so he says, no, I got a big issue. So right off the bat, you know the guy's addicted to drugs. Unfortunately, when people are addicted to drugs, you can't really count too much on what they say to be truthful. So there's the first lie that he tells the officer. I found that telling and just par for the course. Just goes along the same set of boundaries where everything's just lies and tales, and sees who he can get away with it. Now here we are, just a little something to highlight the character of this individual that the government apparently trusted his word and trusted what he says and felt he was a credible witness. And here's a little bit of his character where he talks about how he's cheating on his girl with another girl who he calls her a junkie. So I'm just going to let that play. Not really too relevant, but something that just highlights character.
They took the phone all night long. I was blowing smoke up her ass. I know he's dealing with that. I've been around the block.
Wait, what did you say? What, that chick didn't call me?
No, she was calling me. I just went around behind my door's back and I had a girl. The girl's a junkie. And I already know that she's brought me under the bus. She's trying to probably get herself out of some shit she got into. This girl's consistently involved in bullshit. She told me like 2 weeks ago that she got out of some trouble by feeding people to the cops. And now what's the deal? It's funny that I was talking to her all day while I was in New York, and now there's not a Scotland, so I call it find his home. And I'm fully cooperative to go through there. You're not going to find anything. That girl's a piece of shit. She's going to be bogus and alone. All day long she's been texting me. I was texting with her and talking to her a lot of half hours, but I could go to the gas station and leave the girl to get it. She can't sit me off and go to the hotel room. You know the deal. Party with these chicks. And I really want my girl to find out about it. But I'm telling you, go ahead and obviously.
Well, I mean, I got you. I mean, that's
I've worked for you guys now. I get it. But just so you know, you're walking up the wrong tree. That really keeps going.
Okay.
All right, so here he is. His theory is apparently this girl ratted him out. That's what I guess he's trying to tell the cop, that the girl ratted him out, and that's why the cop's pulling him over. But that's not true. The cop talks about it later on. He says nobody dimed you out. They've been following him, I guess, as far as his drug dealing. This is the narcotics division, and the officer explains that nobody dimed him out. He's getting followed, and they're onto what he's doing. But it just goes to show right away he's pushing blame. He's trying to blame some girl. His character, to me, that says a lot. This would have been something very useful if we were allowed to use this to paint the character. Would have changed things a lot once you're able to really dissect the character of these witnesses or these informants, I should say these lying informants, that come on the stand. And they keep a lot of this out on purpose. This now, just to be clear, and I'm going to pull it up, this is not part of the protective order. The information I'm sharing now was obtained by the defense team. This just shows how you could get this type of information. You put a letter together and you send it. It's public record, so you put a letter together, you send it to the appropriate department, and you ask for the information. And they got to turn it over. It's public information. So just to be clear, for those listening that are looking, obviously people aren't going to be crazy about this, so I'm sure they're going to look for any kind of fractures in this to exploit, but this was not part of the protective order. This is public information that was requested by the defense team. Now, this part is also telling because of his brag stories on the John A. Light podcast and on Vlad of how he stand up and he didn't want to turn informant, but people, I don't know, I think he tried saying people set him up, or his dad tried setting him up, or his dad, I don't know, he tried making up some tale. But here's the bottom line. With 27 minutes, it's going to be in 11 seconds into him getting pulled over, and immediately he tries to give the cops info in exchange for leniency. 27 minutes after getting pulled over. I'm going to play that. You'll hear what he says, and then I'll talk about it.
What is that, like, am I going to get time for that stuff? I know a friend of mine went to jail for having some weed on him, you know?
I mean, we'll talk about it. Luckily, like you said, I am a narcotic cop, so.
I mean, I try to be as stand-up as possible, but I can tell I'm not dealing with stand-up, you know, crowd down here. I don't get more than those things, you know?
Right.
Okay, that's all.
We'll talk, for sure.
Okay, so right there, again, he uses that line. That's like their line, stand up. They seem to, all these lying informants have that in common, where they think their gauge of what stand up actually means something. I find that pretty comical. So he's saying, you know, I try to be stand up, but the people I'm dealing with down here aren't stand up. So we could talk about something I could give you. And then you heard the cops say, all right, we'll talk about it. So he's already throwing hints that he could give them information on people down there. And if you notice again, it's always everybody else's fault of why he wants to give information. So I guess down in Mississippi, they don't adhere to his bar that he set of what stand up, and being they were under that bar of being a stand-up person, that justifies him giving information and lying. And, you know, I don't know anything about that case down there, what information he gave down there, but it just sets the tone of how this guy operates. So it has nothing to do with some ridiculous stand-up gauge. It's a matter of you get caught and you're going to give information on people so you don't have to do any time for it. You don't have any accountability for it. Get the